Hey guys, welcome to week 3 Digestion Podcast. We are going to be chatting today about something that helps us connect our mind and our body. It is our vagus nerve. And the vagus nerve is something that activates our parasympathetic nervous system. So with our nervous system, we have two sides, the sympathetic, which is our fight and flight. And this is the guy that we'll use when we're running away from something, if we're feeling really stressed and we need to size up against something in our life. It would be what we would have used back in the day to run away from a tiger or a bear. So it's when our heart starts racing and we feel heated and we can get angry and we can feel fearful, those kinds of things. That is all our sympathetic nervous system. Our parasympathetic is where we're super chilled, and it is what we use to rest and digest our food, and it helps us to rejuvenate, and it's where all of our repair processes go on. And as you can imagine, we spend a lot of time in our sympathetic nervous system. We're running about our day and trying to get lots of things done. We're super busy, on the go all the time. We very rarely stop to sit down and actually just chill. So what we are trying to do with the vagus nerve this week is to activate it. We want to get it active. The vagus nerve is it's linked into the stomach. It's linked into numerous organs in the body, but it's particularly in terms of digestion, it's related to the stomach and helping it to relax. And what it actually does is it increases the stomach acidity, which is going to help us to digest our food. This digestive juice secretion also helps to digest all of our protein, break our proteins apart from the animal meats and plant proteins that we consume, as well as breaking apart our fats and starting to break apart the glucose bonds in our carbohydrates as well. And it helps to ensure gut flow, so motility, which is the way that our food moves through our digestive system, so it doesn't just sit in our gut, it moves forth into our intestines and continues through. You guys would all have the pictorial of what all the different parts of the digestive system is now, so this is where we will be flowing, our food will flow through. What happens when we don't have vagus nerve stimulation? So the less stimulation that we have is going to influence how our glucose is absorbed. It's going to increase our insulin response, and it is going to lead to things like irritable bowel syndrome. So if our food is not being digested, or we're eating our food in a really stressed out manner, this can lead to irritable bowel syndrome, IBS, for those that have bloating or cramping in their bowel, or they have diarrhea or constipation, all kinds of different kinds of things that happen with IBS. These can all be due to the fact that we haven't stimulated our vagus nerve. This guy's really important. It's also really important to stimulate the nerve for B12 absorption. B12 is one of our vitamins that gives us heaps of energy, and in this day and age it's really tricky to get B12 sometimes. It can be masked as iron deficiency because it influences the way that we absorb our iron. And it can be something that also masks different kinds of fatigue that we have in our body. If we're low in B12, we tend to feel pretty shit. So we want to make sure that we are enhancing that absorption as much as possible. It also relates to stimulating our dopamine, which is our feel-good hormone. It helps with fertility. It helps us to urinate less. So those that are urinating lots and lots and lots, it can be because of understimulation of your vagus nerve, which is super interesting. It relates in with our kidney function, making sure that we excrete waste appropriately, and it helps us with inflammation and satiety. So it helps us to feel full. So if our vagus nerve is stimulated and working as it should, we will feel nice and full after our meals when we've had a good serving size, and it will also help to increase our satiety when we actually need to eat again. So this nerve is awesome, if you haven't already gathered, and I am going to tell you how we can activate it. So, activating the vagus nerve, I'm going to give you a few different tips. One is really cool. It's a tongue trick. It's also breath work. And what you do is you actually put your tongue against the back of your teeth, your top teeth, and then you inhale, and then for about 4 counts, and then you exhale for as long as you can, but with your mouth open. So you kind of inhale through your nose, and then exhale. Kind of sounds like that. Hopefully that doesn't sound too weird on this recording. But ultimately, you're trying to exhale that air as slow as possible. And then what happens is it helps to activate that nerve. You want to do that 4 times, 4 or 5 times. That's all you need to do. It legit takes a minute or so, a couple of minutes to just do that breath work, the inhale for 4 counts, and then exhale for 8 or so counts, or as long as you can, with that tongue against the back of your teeth, your mouth open. It's super calming. So before meals, that's one thing that you can do. Any kind of breath work, if you feel like you're in public or you feel a bit stupid doing the tongue against the teeth thing with the exhale, sounding a bit funny, you can just do a 4 and an 8 count with your inhale and exhale. So you can inhale for 4 and then exhale for 8. In any circumstances, that is one of the most relaxing ways of just moving into your parasympathetic nervous system, which is going to help to activate that vagus nerve. But in any kind of stressful situation, it just slows the body down, which is super cool. So inhale for 4 counts, exhale for 8 counts, maybe doing about 10 rounds of that. And that slow exchange will help to activate that vagus nerve before your meals. Diving reflex. So this diving reflex, it is pretty much just splashing water on your face. And what happens is your body it instantly relaxes from the cold water going on your face and stimulates the vagus nerve. So that's pretty cool. So when you first wake up in the morning, it's nice to do as well, just to get that vagus nerve active and start to move into that parasympathetic nervous system for your gut, stimulating all those digestive juices and stuff. Connection. So connecting at a meal, whether you're eating with friends or family, just reaching out and having a chat to somebody, whether you're out to dinner or at home, whatever it is, just trying to have that connection, that social cohesion when you're taking your meals is really important. It also helps you to slow down and feel comfortable and safe whilst you're consuming your meal, which is super cool. Any kind of meditation, sitting down for 10-15 minutes, cross-legged position, doing some breath work or whatever is really nice. Laughing, finding something insistently funny, whether you have a super funny friend that you can call and laugh about, or you can just pretend that something funny's happened, or just try and laugh out loud at yourself. Sometimes when you just laugh, when you force yourself, it just becomes this belly laugh. That's just another way of doing it, and that's sometimes if we're out to lunch with friends, that can just be happening naturally, which is super cool. So it ties in with your connection as well. Humming. So, I'm not a very good hummer, obviously, but making a sound with your throat can help to activate that vagus nerve and move you into the parasympathetic nervous system. And omming, making the om sound. If you're into your yoga, that is something that you can do, because that is using your throat to make noise, which is good. Yoga as a standalone is really, really cool. That is going to get you into that parasympathetic nervous system. Obviously, that takes a little bit longer than some of the other tips and tricks that I've told you. But if you're eating a lunch after a yoga session or eating breakfast after yoga, it's always going to be met with really nice, calm system, which is going to be awesome for your digestion. And the last one is affirmations, and this kind of comes back to just being mindful and present about your meals. And I think I might have spoken about this in the PDF, but basically sitting down and thinking about how good the meal is going to nourish you, or what energy you're going to take from the meal, or the nutrients that is in the meal. Just saying a little affirmation before you actually consume it, or giving thanks. These are really good ways to really get present with the fact that you're about to consume a meal, and it just starts to activate that vagus nerve, let the body know that you're about to have some food. So all the sneaky ways that you can start to get really present with your mealtime and activate that vagus nerve, preparing it for the food that you're about to ingest. And this is such a great way to really enhance your health and enhance your digestion and supporting the body in its processes so that you can feel freaking awesome. And some of these tips and tricks take less than 5 minutes. It's something that can be done easily in public, or if you go to the bathroom before your meal, wash your hands, whatever. You can begin to move into that space that is going to help you to have the most robust digestion. So just a little podcast on the vagus nerve today. I hope that you guys took a little bit from it. I love to chat to you about all the things that you try and see if you find any differences in your digestion over the week by trying to activate this guy. Thanks for listening, and I will speak to you over in the group. See you later, team.